What's up? What's up? I know it's been a while, but Trab Moody from A Toy Kind of Mood is back with yet another G.I. Joe Classified ranking and review. Let me know right off the rip, do you guys prefer the ranking of the entire series or just review by review? Can't always be there to review it when it drops. Work, life gets in the way, but I'm happy to do a video today because we get something special. Not only do we have my G.I. Joe Classified Mad Marauders, yes, Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders, figure ranking and review, but also a bonus. We've got my most anticipated classified Mad Marauders figures. There's not a whole lot of them, and I kind of had to throw another group in there to keep it fun, but it's going to be super dope. Of course, first, we're going to go through our figure ranking, but above all that, Sarge himself dropped on X and talked about his own figure, which is super dope whenever you see a celeb interact with their own action figures and actually care about it. And he's like, a 10 hunt, maggots. We're making a running change. And I believe I have the original variant. He wanted the iconic cover and the shades on in the package itself for all those mint inbox collectors. But I think I may have the variant. Should I even open this up? Is it worth a lot of money? Of course we're going to open it up because I'm here to review it. All right, coming in at number 4, starting the Mad Marauders ranking, is my guy Lowlight, the Night Spotter. Actually, I didn't know where I was going with this ranking. It's on the fly. This guy could have been number 2, as high as number 2. I really like this scheme. And the thing about Lowlight is that he pops. He's highlight now. Shout out to Bobby Bear from A Toy Kind of Mood, who really likes this improvement. Well, he calls it an improvement over what we got last time. And just to put Lowlight side by side, sorry, he's a little bow-legged because I had him in a sniper stance, but it kind of gives you, see how like just dull and gray? It is supposed to be low light, right? It fits his name. Obviously, it's clearly a one-to-one repaint, but this one pops, you know, there's more life to him. He's out doing jungle missions with his guy Spirit, as you can see in the background. As far as I know, there's no Easter eggs on the back of that box. You got Nile in the air, of course, instead of Freedom. Some camp tents there. If I'm missing any kind of Easter eggs, let me know there. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, he's really solid. There's no bad figures on this list. I mean, it's a very short list, but just kind of give you some side-by-side comparisons. We'll scan them right on in. And yeah, everything looks really good. Like the green, the browns pop. I mean, it's a polarizing color scheme, you know, blue, brown, and green, and like a OD green, right? So you got his grenades there. You got black on the buckle. This blue really pops. I like the greens on the thighs, kind of like thigh pads there. And shin guards. I mean, he's got more color, more life, but I guess what makes him number 4 on the list to me is the fact that we still have that like Sleepy Daisy face sculpt. I get it. It's a repaint. You know, they're not going to create a whole another entire mold. But, you know, if he's got some life to it, why is he still sleepy? He does have more paint around the bags of his eyes, so it's more pronounced, I guess, because if you're in the dark, you don't really need all that glam, if you will. So it does look like he's got a different shading on the lip swell. This is more subtle, so looking at the side, and then yeah, I mean it is repainted, so the hair color is different. I think this was to pop at night, the black and the blacks and the darks of the night. You get a brighter blonde. This is more of a natural blonde, or you know, 80s Hogan blonde. Now while we're at it, let's compare what's in the sheath. Got our knife. You know, this is a fairly solid knife. And this one is a little more warped, but more or less the same thing. Looks like there's a darker blade here and a brighter blade. A little more shine on this one, a little more dull here on the original Lowlight. On the knife, same handle. And then on this side, you got his radio transmitter, which will really come in handy in the jungle missions, so we'll pop that out. It looks like we have a duller gray for Lowlights. We got a brighter black, a little bit of shine. For us quality, not so bad. It's about the same as far as the plastic quality, but this is got a brighter black shine on the transmitter. Okay, digging into Mad Marauders Lowlight Accessories, we got the Mars McCullen 25 sniper rifle that we've seen with the Arctic Bat. Of course, the Master of Disguise Zartan, the one in the middle. Man, those top two are warped to shit, ain't they? Lowlights isn't so bad. I do like the blue, pops a little bit. Yeah, it's a little sci-fi. I mean, a lot of these Mars type weapons are going to be, it's got the bipod that goes up and down, but you know, decent. As far as like quality, yeah, this is gummy. This was really gummy. This is not so bad, actually. It got really good quality. Maybe I got lucky. Saw a couple other reviews where this was actually worse than Zartan's, but yeah, not mine. Pretty good. The worst part about this, obviously, is just this sling is just so hard. Such a hard plastic. Should have been a very, very soft PVC. Would have been much easier to, you know, wrap around, especially in a sniping position. I mean, it fits great on the run and gun, but in holding, but not in the sniper position. And, you know, being a night spotter, a sniper, low light definitely needs something that'll be durable enough to fit around the shoulder. So one cool thing about the 2-packs that we're getting lately from the Classified series are these mismatch of weapons and accessories that we got in the 2-pack. So, of course, we got Ton of Rats. Backpack here with kind of the night spotter lights, the flashlights, if you will. We got these nice blue lenses inside instead of the green. Looking at the back, the details pretty much the same. We got a nice olive drab. On here, we got a more of a deep olive, dark foresty green. You got black on the buckle instead of the gray. So nice reuse here. Makes sense for what Lowlight's doing with Mad Marauders. All right, here we got our satchel from, again, Tunnel Rat right here on the brown. Pretty much a forgotten piece. I know some of my homies that reviewed this figure already had no idea where this was from. But yeah, olive drab on there, lacking a lot of detail. But again, this is the nice, this is the type of, you know, that PVC that we should have with the sniper rifle that really would have just made it so much nicer and so much more realistic as a strap. Okay, and lastly, for low light, we've got the shades, of course, the iconic shades. Now, what's funny is it seems like these are smaller or like a tighter band than this one. And I know my dude, Bobby B, shout out to B's Battlegrounds, great channel, go check that out. I know he had some issues getting these glasses around or whatever, where this is a bigger one, so let's check that out. I have not tried this yet, so this is freestyling. Shades on. Oh man, maybe don't go so high yet. Seems like, well, yeah, it is a little tight, but I don't foresee there being a major problem. All right, we got that part, and yeah, I don't really see an issue here. If anything, these look a little too big, right? These fit on nice and tight. And these were actually really easy to get on, but they don't feel loose either, so Oakley is looking good to me. Hey, whiskey time for number 4, Lowlight, and yeah, he doesn't stand up too well either. This is about as good as I could get in the pose, and guess what? When I was posing him, this ripped right off. So all for the better, I would think. But I think he pops. I think the color scheme's great. It's obviously pretty much on par what we got from back in the day with the Slaughter Marauders Lowlight. You know, bring some life to a very dark character. Some people are going to prefer this version. But for me, he's just solid. Give him 3.25-3.5. I think it's a good figure. I think the reuse is smart. I think the idea is better than the execution. But, you know, solid addition. If you're all in on the sub-teams, he's welcome. Coming in at number 3, it's Barbecue. Oh, man. Imagine if it did have this Marvel Legends Johnny Storm face. It would be number 1, easily. Gabriel Kelly, giving him this likeness would have been a lot of fun. I saw many different, you know, kit bashes. We had Norman Osborn for a while, stuff like that. But this, to me, is a perfect face sculpt for my guy. And this guy came out number 58 in the line. I mean, that's a couple years ago now. Just crazy. What are we at? Like almost 200, 150 plus. So to get, well, easy to remember, we got 129 right here. So yeah, we're like, we're almost heading up on that 150, and this guy was 58. So it's been a while since he's had any friends join him here. But of course, this is not his face scan, so let's get into the real review. Oldie but a goodie, and I'm partial to Boston, so I'm going with barbecue. Higher on the list. I love this figure. I really think the colors pop. The green, the browns are on the arms. The blues and the greens are in the right places. He's a really awesome figure. I think barbecue is already a great figure. The biggest issue are these legs, or the destro legs, the ones that just are just super wobbly. You get the pins there, old school pin on the arms. The biggest significant difference is, besides the color scheme, are the logos on the back of the tanks. You don't get the caution, you get a little bit of mismatch in there, so that was interesting. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much the same. Looks like you got darker blacks here. These are more grayed on the Ude, but everything else is the same minus the repaint. And yeah, just a really strong figure. Nothing groundbreaking. I think it peg warmed for like the longest time, both barbecue and Mad Marauders barbecue especially, but I'll go 3.5 whiskeys for my dude Gabe Kelly. All right, number 2, we got Mad Marauder Spirit with Neil. Yes, comes with a friend. I think the best part of the Spirit in this 2-pack right behind him in the box, you see, is that Mr. Iron Knife comes off as like a deluxe. Most of the accessories are his, especially the most important one, which we just showed you. I think he looks sharp as hell. He's more subdued than Lowlight with the color schemes, but adding those awesome blues to the gloves, the gauntlets, those boot gauntlets, boot pads, I mean, just the headband, just the blue is striking against the more subdued browns and dark forest green. So he really is a knockout. Of course, he is a one-to-one repaint of already one of the best figures in the classified line. I did not review this because I reviewed it on a live stream back in the day, the Terradrome, all that. Shout out to the boys. But yeah, as you can see, pretty great. Now let's do some comparisons. I think the one minus that's glaring to me on the Spirit is just bare bones on the shoulders. It would have been nice to throw like a Mad Marauders logo on there, or some kind of tampo to represent that he's part of this group running things for Sarge. But otherwise, we get those same gauntlets with the holes for the eagle, which we'll compare now. How about skin tone? I believe this Spirit knife is a little lighter. On camera, it may look that way. In person, it's really close. But the one thing for sure about the sculpt is this headband has all this design to it, which is a really nice detail with all the black kind of studs there. If you put them side by side, this was just a straight up red headband. So nice attention to detail there from Tony. Face sculpt wise, like I said, I think the skin color is just a touch different. You got darker eyebrows on the left. The hair color seems a darker, deeper black. That's advancements maybe with painting, and the line seems to be a lot more gloss in the original Spirit Iron Knife face as well. But everything else seems to be the same. Doing side by side. Yeah, we've got some lighter. It's just not as striking, the hair. It's a darker, it's still black, but it's like almost darker brown on camera. We got the classic Joe Pros, which we don't get anymore. This one really shines. I love the silver there, really pops. Everything else with the flash grenades, the grenades, everything else is there. Good opportunity to take a look at the knife. Nice detail on the OG knife. We get the same thing, but it's far more warped. But we do have that same detail. We do have a green OD green handle this time, so that's nice. You got more of a sand color on the sheath, where this is more of a skin tone tan there. So as you can see, it's almost one-to-one with the skin tone. You get the same ammo belt, less paint apps than the original. Buckle does have a nice blue in the eye of it, so that's different there. You got your green sidelines. Again, no tampo on the back. It's a good opportunity for us to check out the Colt M1911A. And so one thing I did not notice on the original Colt 1911A semi-automatic pistol is it's like the eagle design on it. Yeah, it's really dope with the wings and everything like that. So the original black, it's hard to tell in this lighting, but it does have it. And then lastly, we have this other sheath. I mean, he is iron knife, so he would carry more than one knife. This was an all black knife. Wow, I totally forgot about this one. And then we've got the same knife. Pretty damn warpy, not gonna lie, silver. I mean, let me know in the comments how many of you guys are actually like posing these guys with pistols and knives, or are you just using the big guns? I don't know. I get lazy and then just give them the sniper rifle, the machine gun. I don't do a whole lot of action diorama stuff. I think when you do the action diorama, you get creative with the smaller weapons. So a lot of these things just go in sheaths for me personally, but let me know in the comments if you guys are sticklers for your knives, your daggers, your pistols. One other point I do want to make before we go on, you get almost like, looks like they do want to go bare chested, but then he's got such a darker neck. It does kind of match the face. Pull the face down, the chest matches, but then you got a darker neck on the paint. So I don't think that was a skin colored shirt underneath. So it does match the arms and the face a little better, but that dark neck makes it really weird. So otherwise, man, great figure. All right, and as mentioned earlier, Spirit Iron Knife has a lot of accessories, and that's not even counting the bird. So right off the rip, we've got Outback's AR-10. Again, we got that hard, just really silly. I hope not to break this one because it is a nice looking strap, but yeah, just really hard and difficult. So that sucks there. I forgot which one is which. I think it's the darker one. Maybe it's the lighter one. I don't know at this point. Mixing and matching here. We've got the backpack from Outback as well with the same e-tool shovel. Don't need to show you guys that. You've seen it already, but same thing. Not a whole lot of paint apps or anything, but wonderful design. Then we've got that Vanmark Industries, that Breed DM rifle. So can't call him a tracker anymore, but nice spotter sniper. We got the nods from Tino Rat, so the night vision goggles. We're going with the blue over the green, but yeah, basically it. Oh, and then we have Outback's flashlight, which, and the silly part is Outback's flashlight had a strap for it. And it looks like it had some reflective paint that at least gives off the idea that it is a flashlight, where this is just a flat matte black. And worse yet, there's nowhere to put it. So I am a stickler for that stuff when there's nowhere to put accessories on his person. So that's a bummer right there. All right, but the star of the show, who could easily rank #1 in our rankings, is Knee-Hole. So getting more animals in the line, whether it's repaints or not, I thought it was brilliant just to say, hey, this isn't Freedom. You're not getting Freedom. That was probably the most fun part of this pack, is just getting a lot of paint details here. We'll do a comparison with Freedom and Knee-Hole in a second, but just wanted to kind of solo showcase with the normal wings. All right, and then we get a fun pose here with Knee-Hole hanging out with the souped up Night Spotter himself, Spirit. One thing I do want to mention is the sniper rifle is extremely loose and falls out of this pack a lot, while the shovel seems to be more secure in there. Maybe if I flip-flop them, it won't be so bad. Legs seem a little loose, nothing like the Destro legs, but just because he's so top-heavy, he's got a whole lot going on here, but really cool. Let's get Knee-Hole in full articulation. And it's probably Knee-Hole, right? Knee-Hole? 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 I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments how to pronounce this damn bird. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. A lot more paint apps than, your standard bald eagle that we got here. Golden eagle. But yeah, check it out. We got Freedom. We got Knee-Hole. I'm going to get roasted. But yeah, taking a look at the top here. And yeah, never thought I'd be comparing birds on a toy kind of mood. But then again, we've compared gators and dogs and wolves and all that stuff. So, but yeah, really cool. Which bird do you prefer? Do you like the dark Knee-Hole? Or is it just me, or is it Freedom like bigger? Hold on a second. Paint throwing me off or what? Is this straight up repaint or is it bigger? Oh man, that's deceiving, huh? That white paint just seems like it pops. It pops so much that it seems like it's a bigger sculpt. No, it's the same thing, but with that white, it just looks like it's a bigger bird. But it is a straight up repaint. I doubt they would ever, for an accessory, do a whole nother mold. But yeah, I like Nihil. I like me some Neo Geo. All right, number 2, Spirit Mad Marauders, Mr. Iron Knife. I think he's great. I think he's fantastic. I think the reuse is awesome. Having some Outback's accessories absolutely makes sense. The nods look really cool on him. I don't think they quite fit on Lowlight from what I hear. Having a new bird, same mold and everything, but just a nice repaint, giving it a new name was a nice touch. I mean, it's kind of silly that we have this flashlight that doesn't fit anywhere near them. I get mad about that, but the color scheme's good. Would have been nice to have some logos. So there is a little bit of issues, but for a repaint, it's very, very solid. I'm going to go 3.75 -4 out of 5 whiskeys for my guy, Spirit Iron Knife. All right, and number 1 in the Mad Marauders GIJoe Classified ranking, no surprise here. It's the Sergeant Slaughter. Big old Bob, he's back. I had the pleasure of meeting the Sarge at Joe Fest. Totally unexpected. Great guy. Had a lot of fun. Asked him who his favorite jobber was. Enhancement talent, if you will, in the world of professional wrestling. That was a fun one. So look, Sarge is the deluxe. We said Spirit Iron Knife was sort of a deluxe with the bird and the multitude of accessories in the 2-pack, but this is a legit deluxe, a very well done deluxe. Of course, it is 1-to-1 with the Sarge. Now, I have the Gridiron utility belt there. I'm not sure how to take it off. I don't feel like taking it off, so we'll leave it on there. But otherwise, you could see it's pretty much a masterful 1-to-1 repaint in the faithful Mad Marauder dubbed colors. But yeah, just taking a look here all the way around. We'll start with the boots. And while those do look different and larger and everything, they are the same. You get the same cargo. Of course, this is Gridiron, but you get the white belt and you get pins, sadly, but you know, it was a good buck for Sarge. Pretty accurate to the build and everything like that. Face scan wise, there's a slight difference. Now, when it comes to skin tone, in person it is the same. So it could be lighting, but we have this like blemish here above the eyes and more pronounced eyebrow anger there. It's there, it's subtle, and this is like fawn line maggot. So otherwise pretty much the same face sculpt. Looks like we got darker hair on the left. You got brown, and it's almost like a black to go with the Mad Marauders theme, which is pretty night themed. A little bit darker stash. Again, skin color on the left looks different, but in hand, I assure you it's the same. Looks like we got some paint spackle problems there. Yeah, we got some chips right on here. Got some paint chips. So that's an issue, but that's a QC thing. Looking at the upper torso, we got a nice American flag logo there. Nothing on the original Sarge. Again, get the yellow belt or straight up golden. Well, we got gold, and everything else is the same. All right, accessory time for Mad Marauder Sarge is a lot of them. So everything on the left here comes with Sarge and some comparisons here. We'll start off with the AK-74 inspired Kalashnikov. I think the other one's better from the OG Sarge because it has that nice brown handle there. Everything else seems to be the same. This is a more faded grayish black. It feels cheap. It got a more subdued brown handle. You can barely even see it that it's brown, but it is. Trust me, in person. But we'll compare, and I feel like this gun, this newer one, is cheaper. Now, why would Sarge be with an AK-74? My thing is he's punching out bats and punching out Crimson Guards, and he took a weapon back. That's the only logic. I'm sure if we asked Lenny, it'd be a similar answer. I don't think he would have a real American hero like Sarge, an American icon, would use Soviet or arms or whatever like that. So I think it's a stolen weapon, a badge of honor, if you will. That's the way I look at it. But I actually like this one better. Not that we're ever going to use it with Sarge. I mean, he's going to be training, punching, whatever, but that's the Kalishnikov. All right, so we got the big boa stuff, which really stands out, obviously, with the weights. This time you got paint on the 90 to show how much he's pumping iron, or it could be 6 pounds. Jokey, but this is big boas, and they actually gave us paint. I do like what my dude Larry, Punk with Toys, said. It would have been nicer to have another number, but then you're creating a new mold. Obviously, have like the 80s or 70s or whatever like that, just to kind of build up that weight set. Yeah, that would have been nice. Would have been nice, but at least they painted that, so give them that. All right, hands. Not going to compare hands because they are the same, except this time we have our salute hand, which was requested by Sarge himself. So really great there, and we'll let you know how that looks. And then we have the whistles. Last time we had gold with a lighter brown rope there, and this time we have silver, so that's pretty cool. Keeping that alive. Boxing gloves, big boa. Big boa had the Cobra logo, a little bit of white inside. This is just a whole blue repaint, but they look cool nonetheless. And they do come with the whole rest of the glove to give you the form factor needed to make it look like a real glove and not just mittens. I can't find my other baton. Searched through a couple boxes, probably fell on a DTOF or underneath the DTOF, whatever, but this one has the blue stick to it and the gold bottom on the round, so it's a really nice stick, baton, whatever. Shades, we'll throw those on Sarge. Of course, we got blue lenses this time instead of silver. Lighter frames instead of the brown frames. Cover, always important for Sarge. That's why he wanted the cover shown with his shades on the cover of the figure on the package front, but we've got olive drab green this time instead of brown. And now this is a funky one. We've got the minifig, but yeah, this is one. I mean, the Sarge on this minifig is the size of, it's actually bigger than this entire minifig. It would have been nice to have them uniform. Looking closer at the figs themselves, let's tear them out of the box and articulate them and pose them. I don't know. You guys see any differences? I mean, they're doing the same thing. You got like a watch this time. I mean, whatever, right? But I guess this size is more fun. It's easier to see than this one. Although micro makes it look realistic. This just looks like a giant fig. Let's get that in scale. Holding up a figure. Does your GIJoe Classified look this big? No, maybe a McFarlane figure. But this looks more realistic. If you're at the store, is this 118? Let's see. All right, so the wristwatch goes to the fig. I don't know. I feel like this would still be 112 scale, where this is like just Hot Toys level. Same size figure though, just the box is bigger. So pretty crazy that we're even reviewing this. This has tape on it too, where this was just easy to pop out and take out. I don't know. Better job packaging. Has a bio on the back. It's readable with Ultra 3D AI glasses, so go grab those. You get the photo there of the fig. Pretty cool. Has the points. If you submit these to Emily by September 1st, if you submit 7 of them, you will get a free Mad Marauders figure yet to be named. So finally, best accessory of all, it's the itty ditty bitty bag. Falcon knows all too well, but it is awesome. Soft goods bag, soft straps. It's really cool. We'll show you how Sarge looks with it. Yeah, it's a good time. All right, glasses. How do they look? How do they fit? I think pretty good. They're among the better of the GIJoe Classified. I am super harsh on glasses and pretty much all action figures across the board, especially WWE, Mattel. Man, those are just bad 90% of the time. But these look pretty good. No holes needed in the side of the head. I think they look pretty good. They fit pretty good. Yeah, excellent job there. How does good old Sarge look in this cover? I think fantastic. I think he looks great. There's a look at him with both glasses and shades. So iconic. Just awesome all the way. Perfect. Who knew Bob was a southpaw? Unfortunately for him, Big Bo works for Cobra and they don't play fair, and he's about to smash him over the dome piece with a 90-pound dumbbell. Okay, now this looks really cool, but I'm pretty sure my friends like Airborne Customs and so forth are going to let me know in the comments how wrong everything here is. Oh, it should be a hat, shouldn't be sunglasses, it's the wrong angle. Perfect, leave those comments, help the algorithm. And finally, we got good old Sarge here with his itty-ditty Santa bag, ready to bring some toys for the boys. And a bonus one, you got Sarge ready to defend the G.I. Joe World Heavyweight Championship at Joe Fest with his bullhorn. Too bad he doesn't come with his manager. But at the end of the day, it is Sarge himself. It's a much wanted repaint of Sarge Mad Marauders. They added some cool detail, of course. I'm throwing in some gridiron accessories here, but the itty ditty bag is a home run. It actually does fit the giant figure. I wasn't sure it was going to. We could probably fit all his ditties in here if you wanted to. Look at that. So you throw in the weights. You wouldn't want to throw the weights on top of the figure, but you throw the weights in, the gloves, everything like that. But the itty ditty bag is honestly the sole reason why this is number one. As much as I love Spirit, this one just clips it. And then you add Gridiron's fun accessories, and it's like the ultimate Sarge. Just a great figure all the way around. I'm not a big fan of seeing pins still in the figures or whatever, but we can get over that and just say, hey, you don't do a Slaughter Marauders list without Sarge at the number one spot. But also good on Bob for getting involved and saying, this is the way I want my figure to come. This is the salute hand I want with my figure. So I'm going to go 4-4.25 whiskeys for Sergeant Slaughter. Actually didn't think I was going to love it that much until I reviewed it in hand, and I was like, oh man, this is great. This is so fantastic and so much fun. So kudos to the Sarge, getting involved, making a really solid, great figure in the classified line. But don't go anywhere, because now it's time for my most anticipated G.I. Joe Classified Mad Marauders. What's left in the line? You're probably asking yourself, not a whole lot. Well, honorable mention, see Mutt. And seeing how many have warm shelves at Target, I mean, you know, Target just does the opposite of Walmart and order too many things. I mean, that's the only thing really keeping this guy as an honorable mention. Mutt and Junkyard are awesome. It'd be interesting to see if we get Mutt with maybe another pup. I mean, we got Nihole instead of Freedom. That would help separate a Mad Marauders Mutt. At least a repaint of Junkyard. That would be really interesting if they did something like that. Moving on, we have Footloose. Look, officially announced at Comic-Con as a name only in the line. So we need Footloose. Could be cool as a builder. Maybe a 2-pack with Mutt and Junkyard, similar with Footloose. That would complete the Mad Marauders line. Then we wouldn't have to buy them separately, so that might work. But top 3 time. Now, who's left? Well, Slaughter's Renegades. Now, technically, I don't know if they're Marauders or whatever, but we're throwing them in here. It's my list. I'm going to have fun. Throw your ones up. At number 3, it's Red Dog. The Pego born Renegade is full of rage and would be a great addition to the current day Bloodline. Be a great addition to the current day Mad Marauders in the G.I. Joe Classified line. But the only reason at number 2 I have Taurus, it's Taurus, is because of the facial hair. And Tony and Lenny have shown over time that they've crushed it in the stash and beard game. So I'd love to see their take on the menacing Taurus. And at number 1, no surprise, Felix Stratton, Mercer, the mercenary. Yeah, Mercer is a silly name for mercenary, but whatever. Will we see a Cobra version from the Energon verse or the Renegade? Likely a 3-pack, Red Dog, Taurus, and Mercer. But there's your chance to repaint and get us an Energon verse Mercer. Obviously a super popular character in the Skybound lore. Seeing how most of the actually every character is inspired by the G.I. Joe Classified line, or vice versa. So it would be cool to see if we get a Mercer inspired by the Skybound universe. So really cool there. Looking forward to Mercer. Would be a super great addition into the line. I know, short list, kind of a bonus, but tell me, what is your list of most anticipated Marauders and Renegades and Sergeant Slaughter? And also let me know if And also let me know what you think of the rankings. Did I get it right? Did I screw Lowlight? Should he have been number 2? Should Barbecue, as old as and flimsy as he is, should have been number 1? And what are your thoughts on the Mad Marauder SAR? And which version did you get? Did you get the running change with his cover and sunglasses built in the package, or did you get the same one with me? That is the OG. Please give it a like. Definitely leave a comment. If you're new to the channel, definitely give us a subscribe. We have lots of content come through, lots of reviews weekly, and we go live on Wednesday, just about every Wednesday. We're not going live tonight, but just about every Wednesday we go live at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern at a Toy Kind of Mood. But for now, I'm Travis Moody, and I'll catch you all in the toy aisle. Attend!